Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For my new subscribers, meaning this is the first time you're seeing this face, welcome to my YouTube channel. For my old subscribers, I love you guys. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for sending messages anytime I don't upload as often as I should. thank you so much for paying attention to this growing channel. This is story time with D. I am a Nigerian vlogging from the UK. I'm doing my master's in the UK, so I'm an international student. And well, welcome to my channel. Welcome. Okay, so on today's vlog, unlike the rest, well, I've been vlogging is actually a sit down and talk vlog, and I'm going to be answering some questions I posted earlier on my Instagram page, which is Bella by D. By the way, I'm into hair. I don't know why I've never said that. Like, I actually sell hair. I sell good hair. Okay, thank you. But anyways, Bella by D, I posted on my Instagram page and on my WhatsApp status that I was going to be answering some questions based on my traveling to the UK, visa process, basically any question you would need to know. I mean, I'm here, so to an extent I could give my advice and answer some of those questions. So let's just get right into this video. So I might be looking down during the course of the video because I have my book here where I wrote down some of the questions, and I think the questions are many, so I might break this vlog into 2 or 3, just depending on how long it is, so it's not too long. So the first question is your confirmation of acceptance for your study. Usually your school will issue out a CAS to you, which you will in turn use to start your visa processing. When you submit your CAS, it contains like all your details, like your passport, your name, your course title, the period of your study. So when you submit that to the embassy, they will take it that you already have your admission from the school, and the school is going to be your sponsor, because you need a sponsor for your visa. So submitting that CAS alongside with your other documents means that, okay, you have a sponsor in the UK, so you might as well proceed to start your student visa. Other documents you might need with your CAS will be your proof of funds. And for my experience, because this is basically going to be my experience and some of my friends, the experience we had was the school gave us the CAS after I paid my deposits. Now, I'm also going to be answering one question because somebody asked how much I paid for my deposits. I paid 3,000. My deposit was supposed to be at least £3,000, but I paid £4,000. So you convert your £3,000 to Naira to know exactly how much you need to pay for your school. But my school only asked for £3,000 and I paid £4,000 just to be safe. And it was after then that we proceeded to getting the CAS. The CAS for me was ready within 3 days. Like, everything was fast, because compared to what I'm hearing now, that CAS takes months and all that, I can't really relate, because mine took less than a week to get. I guess God was just aligning everything I needed at the right time, because I got my admission in July. At the beginning of July, I got my CAS that same month. I started my proof of funds the next month. I got the visa the next month. So everything was just like back to back. And I would say, when looking for a school in the UK, look for a school that allows you to spread your fee payments. Like UWE, the school I attend, University of West England, allows installments. And that was one of the major reasons why I chose the school, because these fees are expensive compared to other schools. But because I get the chance to spread my payments, I picked it. Because some other schools will tell you to pay your deposit and pay the rest up front at the beginning of your session. So, I mean, it's not even an option. So that was one of the reasons why I chose my school. Next question. Honestly speaking, if I had known, I would have chosen a 2-year course. Why? Because at the end of the day, I'm paying the same amount. I'm still paying £13,500 if my course was supposed to be 2 years, and I'm still going to be paying the same £13,500 for your 1 year course. So why not just relieve yourself of that burden and spread your school fees for the period of 2 years instead of one and choke yourself? If you have a course that you can do for 2 years, take it by all means. I mean, within that 2 years, you sort yourself out, you get back, especially if you're coming alone. If you're coming with family, it's different because there's something called, I want to cite another question. There's something called a dependent visa, and there's something called student visa. Now, for your student visa, for instance, you have your husband in Nigeria and you have your children. Because you carry a student visa, you could actually bring your spouse with you, your spouse and your children. Do you understand? So imagine you're bringing your spouse, and meanwhile, your spouse has unlimited hours to work, whereas you as the student has 20 hours to work. Home office will tell you that you have it's even be written on your biometric card, your biometric residence permit, that you have just 20 hours to work. Now, your spouse you're bringing has unlimited hours to work. So imagine you're paying 13,500, you've paid 3,000 upfront. That means you have 10,500 left to spread across 2 years. Definitely, God will give you a spouse, or you already have a spouse that is hardworking. You guys should be able to sort out that fee within the first year and then try to settle down within the second year. Work on getting your post-study visa in the coming year. And, you start from there. And if you're coming alone, it doesn't mean there's no hope for you. I would only advise that you should try to pay majority of your school fees first before getting to the UK, so that you don't rely solely on everything you get here in paying your school fees, because it could strain you. Yeah, it could actually strain you. If you think you can actually work 20 hours a week to pay 10,500 within the space of 6 months, the Lord will give you strength. Next question. Any international students in the house? Home office says you should work for 20 hours. Please work for 20 hours. I don't want to. I'm not in home office. I'm not home office at saying that. I don't know how strict they are. But some people have been denied post-study visa because they checked that they were working more than 20 hours. Well, let's assume you work 20 hours. Let's assume you work 20 hours in a week. And let's also assume you get paid £10 per hour and you work 20 hours exactly in a week. So that means you're going to be getting £200 per week. Now, in a month, you'd be getting £800. Mind you, you still have your house rent to pay, which is going to be like, okay, let's assume the lowest you will pay for your student accommodation, let's assume £300. Even though now it's really almost impossible, but let's assume you pay £300 for your fees, for your house rent. £300 minus 800, that's 500. And you remember, you still have to save, because the moment you want to start a new visa application, you're going to spend pounds, my dear. You're going to spend pounds. So £500 is left. You don't pay tax, council tax as a student. So upkeep, let's assume you spend £100 in a month for upkeep. So £300 is gone for house rent, £100 is gone for upkeep. That's £400. You're left with how much? £400. If you channel that into your fee payment, and you have £10,500 pounds to pay, 10,500 to pay for 6 months, that means you're going to pay £400 for 6 months, which is just 2,400. How on earth do you want to raise up that money without working 20 hours? That's why I said, if your head can carry it, fine. And if you have other business, other channels of getting money, quite all right. I'm just trying to give you like the realistic breakdown from here. If you're working 20 hours and if you don't have any other stream of income, and if you're alone here, and if you have a job that's paying £10, there are other high paying rates you get. If you get a good job, it might be possible. There's nothing impossible with God. Next question. Basically, the care job is like the easiest job you get. How do I put it? You get the opportunity to work in without prior knowledge, like you learn on the job. That is why many Nigerians that come here venture into care jobs. That doesn't mean there are not other jobs. I mean, if you're in IT, you're going to be making a lot of money here. Digital marketing. There is a lot of things going on in tech here that you can take advantage of. But as for care is like the go-to job when you get here. If anybody that gets here, anybody that advise them, just tell them, make sure you just start with care and you move upward from there. And it is like that because the system here, they need a lot of healthcare workers. And because of that, they even go as far as giving sponsorship. Now, you remember when I said your school becomes your sponsor? Also, when you want to renew your visa, minus the post-study, you need a sponsor. Now, if you get a sponsor from a healthcare, they sponsor your visa, you get to stay here, you probably be in a contract with them, and so on. So care sectors here, some of the care homes, some of the care organizations, they actually go as far as giving sponsorship to people just because they want to retain them in their organization. So it is actually like a good job, but it comes with its own disadvantages. I never knew I was going to be doing care work here. I didn't know I was going to be a healthcare assistant. I'm doing some trainings now, even though medicine was in the picture a while back, but I never knew I was going to depend on it here. I never knew that my work here was going to be healthcare related. But if that's what you have to do to make a living and to move up, quite all right. So it is not the only job here in the UK, but it is one of the easiest to get, like especially if you're working with an agency. Agencies pay well, especially for a student, they pay well. Next question. So actually, my accommodation story is a different vlog. Looking for accommodation was war. But what I would say here is getting accommodation was not easy as a couple, unlike as a student. So I would say everybody's story is different. That's like very okay. But if you're coming here as a family, just get at the back of your mind that it's not going to be easy for the first couple of months, especially if you don't have anybody here. But you'll be fine. There are Airbnbs, shortlets that they have here, just like they have in Lagos and any other states. So the problem is you might not really necessarily get an Airbnb around where you're schooling. You might have to settle for a hotel or a shared apartment. Now, a shared apartment is you are renting just a room in a big house. It can be a 4-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, even a 2-bedroom, a 6-bedroom, but you're renting just that room. And majority of the time, they do not give that kind of accommodation to families because to them, how would a whole family be staying in a room? It's only on very rare occasions that you see the whole family staying in a shared apartment of 5-bedroom. They usually not give it. So that's why it is usually harder for couples and families to get accommodation. And for singles, it's easier because imagine it's just you. You can easily find space in any shared apartment just for you to start. Nobody stays in a place permanently for so long. It's just for you to start. Just have a roof over your head. So many people, in fact, if they share their first 3 months experience in the UK, you don't even want to come. Just for you to settle down and to like just find your bearing first. Those first couple of months is exhausting. But getting accommodation as a couple is harder than getting accommodation as a student. So if you have the opportunity of coming first before your partner, I would suggest you do that. Like, you get your visa, you come into the system first. As a single person, it's easier. When you've sorted out yourself as a single person, you start looking for a bigger apartment when your family is not here. Because if you are here, the pressure will be so much. So when they are still in Nigeria, you'll be sorting out the accommodation here. You'll be able to go for the viewings. You'll be able to check this or that. And then when they're finally ready to move, you would have gotten a place for them to move into. It is not easy taking care of your family in a hotel. Not even when you have kids. It's not easy. So I would suggest you come first. After a couple of months, when you're settled and you have your apartment, then you bring in your family. Next question. I said earlier, if you have a partner that is hardworking, it could be easier for you because he has 4 hours to work or she has 4 hours to work. So you guys can split the bills. One pays school fees, the other pays the house rent. Next question. Um There's so many full stuff I want to say. But let's see. I would say if you're coming to the UK, something you should carry. Okay, I'm a fish lover, so I'm saying dried fish. I'm saying dried fish. I would say grounded pepper at Agogo because it's ridiculous the amount we pay for it here. I would say if you like egusi, carry egusi. You can blend it with dried pepper. It stays longer, lasts longer. I would say you can carry your bono, your dry food basically. You can't carry anything wet into the plane. Indomie. You could carry indomie that could last you for at least a month. Spaghetti, just few because they have pasta here. What else did I bring? That was just my dry foods. That was the ogbono, egusi, dried pepper, dried pomo. It's gold because it doesn't smell, and then once you need it, you soak it. Voila, you have your pomo. Because pomo here is very different. Pomo I've tasted here, they're very different. It takes longer hours to cook, and then the taste is different. That's the I have a vlog of what you can carry, so you could just watch that vlog and see all the stuff I brought. And they lasted me for months. My dried pepper just finished last month, and I've been here for over 6 months, so you could see. Next question. Before I came to the UK, I got hints on some sites that I could check for accommodation and secure it basically. But to be fair, those sites didn't really help while I was not in the UK, because at a point in your accommodation search, you would have to go for viewing. They expect you to come and see the apartment you would want to rent out, so you would know there's nothing like stories that touch the heart after you've moved in and stuff. So obviously, if I'm over there and I don't have anybody here, who would go for the viewing? And it's not all sites that give online viewing, not all the sites. So you definitely need to, what we need to do is to book for an Airbnb close to where you'll be staying, at least a reasonable distance to where you'll be staying. If you just Google Airbnb around, let's say Bristol for instance, it brings up variety of Airbnbs, and then you go for the one that fits your budget, you get. And that's also a very important factor when choosing a school. Check for the standard of living around your school. Bristol is quite on the high side. Accommodation is expensive. Everything is expensive. So you could check for that. Like if you have accommodation, if you have admission in like 4 different schools, maybe Birmingham, Sunderland, Bristol, and Manchester, you could check for the accommodation status in those 4 different parts, and then pick the one that is still a bit reasonable to your budget, because it also matters. So answering that question, I would say you can book your Airbnb before you get here. But for a proper house, except you really have someone here, I would say you should wait till you get here. You get. But the Airbnb, so at least you have Airbnbs are like shortlets. You have everything you need in the house, just moving. You have your pots, everything. It's just, the only difference is that in hotels you don't get to cook, but here you get to, it's like a proper home. You get. So I think it's better you book those. And when you get here, you settle down for the first month. Then you look for your accommodation. It's always easier that way. Use spare room, rightmove.uk.com. If you check the site, you will see a variety of houses. You would have to fill in your unique search pattern. Maybe you would want a minimum of £500 per month to 900. You fill it there. And you want a 1-bedroom, you want a flat share, you want a bungalow, you don't mind other people living in the house, you don't mind a living landlord or through agency. There are just various things for you to just click into the search button, and then keywords to kick in, and then you get the accommodation you want. That will be all for now. Guys, if you have any other question, please feel free to send it in. Thank you. Bye.